a second. I'm doing this. All right, it is May 18th, 2013. We're taking a look around here at the new landscaping that was done. A couple things that we want to point out is if you stand right here and look right down here, you can see the trough. It goes straight out here. I'm going to walk right down the trough of where they laid the old irrigation line. There's a irrigation box. You can see the irrigation box right there. And then you can see the depression for the line. And it's got rocks in it, so they never moved the rocks away when they put it in, and it goes all the way through the front of this units. Also, if you look, well, this is interesting. All the black tubes that were sitting out here the other day seem to have disappeared again. There are black tubes running to all these plants, and they were just sitting up on top. They haven't been buried. They're not sticking up. Oh, I wonder if they came back and buried them. Looks like they might have. But we're standing here on this island, which John referred to as the size of a table. I'm going to have my 8-year-old son go in the middle of that island and lay down. Just lay down in that middle of the island. Okay, he fits on the top of a table. This is a little bit bigger than this little tiny table he's talking about removing here. And then these trees, 1, 2, 3, are the remaining trees that existed here. There was one here, 2 on those sides of the parking lot. That's 4 more trees. We've only replaced, as you can see, 1 in about 7 years. So none of the trees were replaced, but Laurel got 12 trees, according to her own statements at the meeting the other night at her house. So where are the rest of the trees to be planted here? I would also like to know, when you look at this grass, where was the irrigation line put in for the deep watering for the roots? Because if you come straight down from the edge of the canopy of the tree, guess where you end up? In this grass. The same thing here. Right off the edge of that canopy is the grass right here. So that's got to be the place where they get water. But the HOA says no. Laurel also said that they did not remove the sprinklers. Well, that's not the way they were. They were removed. I could go around to all of them, and even the ones over here. Let's move on to the next issue. So we have no rocks up here. We got all sorts of other stuff. This is the area that they say needs to be replaced. These 2 islands right here are causing this one right here and this one right here. Those grass islands, they say, are causing the decay of this asphalt right here. Well, the asphalt does have a water stain on it, but if you look closely, you'll notice, let me zoom in here, that the asphalt is really not any different than anywhere else out here. And you got to remember that this asphalt's 20-some years old, never repaved this parking lot. Let's turn around and take a look. Could it be possible that all of the damage done to this is because there's constant cracks? There's some big cracks there. You can follow them from there all the way around. Other cracks here. That's not from water. That's from just having a bad patch of asphalt put in an improper way only about a year ago, and it's all cracked up. So the other thing that we're looking for right here is the slime. The new owner of Mr. O'Brien's unit said that there's a slime up here that poses a liability that someone could fall on. This is bone dry. The only thing that was here was dirt. You can see some of the dirt right here. That's about all that's left. That dirt is from when they blow every week. They blow the driveway and all of the vegetation, and it ends up right here, and this is where they round it up. And so, you know, how is this bad? You know, that dirt is what got wet, and it would stay wet. This is bone dry. It's 90 degrees right now. It irrigated last night. I'll be out here tonight to show you the puddles. Now the cement here, where all the water was coming from that ran down to here, was this middle island, but they've replaced those sprinklers. We did get some water runoff of this green grass over here and this green grass here, but most of it was coming from here with improper sprinklers. The other thing is, this is a fire lane. Fire lane. The problem is, how are you going to get a fire truck through the fire lane with a boulder and a giant pot there? So we're going to walk back here a little bit. This is our new flower bed. It's got weeds growing in it. It looks like it's got some type of hose debris down there. It's not maintained. And then as we go through here, you can see where the water runs through it. You can see this. I'll zoom in. This is moving water when it gets wet. Runs through it like this, goes down here, trickles all the way down. Eventually it runs out into the parking lot. Most of the water it's getting to the parking lot is still coming from this middle island. We move further up here. So the grass that's going to be removed will be this grass, leaving nothing to water this tree, which its canopy right here comes down on this grass. And this grass here, so it's going to lose most of the area that gets watered because they're going to replace this all with rock. And there is no deep root watering system in here. There's nothing in here that has been put in. There are no lines that have been put in, nothing. So we're going back here a little bit more, take a look. Now we're going to look at this. That's a water stain. Every night that it waters, that fills up with water. You can see the water stains in here. There's water stains over there, and we'll walk even more up here. I'll get pictures tonight. More water stains. Now the big thing was they're telling us that there's water on the ground, and the water on the ground is causing a liability. Well, if the water on the ground back behind us in this driveway is such a liability, what is it when it puddles up and it's discoloring the cement also? And why hasn't this ever been fixed? They dug this up last fall and they never resodded it. And so what do we have now? We just got bare dirt. Same thing over here. They ran an irrigation line just like in the front of the building. Never was fixed. And it's a big depression and a hole. And if you continue to follow it through the back of this rock, you find that it gives way and there's rock on top of the irrigation line, which eventually we're going to have to fix because it will break from that rock rubbing on it. So my question is, we're going to remove the grass because it waters the street, the asphalt in the parking lot. However, we water all this other cement, which causes also liability according to what they were saying. There is no slime out there. They've told us the vegetation has already been planted. When we outvoted the board, they said they're going to do it anyway. All we got in concession is if they could keep under budget, they would put some other plants in as a hedge for us. But the plants have already been planted. Just watch Laurel on the minutes or on the meeting, and she says that the plants have already been planted. They're done with it. So all they got to do is remove this grass and put rocks in, but where's the deep water irrigation going to go? Pretty big question if you ask me. Stay tuned to watch the trees die over the next year.